But it should be a good one as well, as we've already completed 2, but getting ready for the 3A. Now let's go down to the public address and Ken Core.
This fall, over 15,000 girls in nearly 400 schools participated in volleyball statewide. However, after 3 weeks of postseason play, only 350 girls on 24 teams in 3 classes earned the right to play at the 5-season center. Let's honor the teams who participated in the 30th annual state volleyball tournament. Unrated in 3A, this school knocked out a 20-time state qualifier to make their first state appearance. Their coach played at state a decade ago, but this is her first time here as a coach. Please welcome from the Central Iowa Metro League, Coach Cindy Friedrich and the Ames Little Cyclones. The only unbeaten team in any class prior to the state tournament, this is their first trip to Cedar Rapids. Rated in the 1A top 5 all season long, they finished the year at number 2. With 4 senior starters, their first-year coach got off to a great start. Champs of the Rolling Hills Conference, presenting Coach Catherine Hadley and the Cam Cougars. Featuring a lineup loaded with senior experience, this 3A school made its first state appearance in 8 years. Overall, this is their 10th trip, but the first for the coach, but she came here as an assistant at Dyke. Please welcome from the Mississippi Valley Conference, Coach Lynn Griffin and the number 5 rated Cedar Falls Tigers. Rated in the top 10 each of the last few seasons, they made their first trip to state. Rated 5th in 2A, they beat the number 3 team in the regional semifinal on the road before losing a 5-game heartbreaker in the state semifinals. Please welcome Coach Lisa Dozier and the Tri-River Conference champs, the Centerpoint Urbana Storen Pointers. This is their second time at state, but the first in 4 years. They came out of a 1A region where 6 of the 8 teams had at least 20 wins, and they defeated the 7th rated team in the class. From the tough North Central Conference, Coach Shelley Terhardt and the Clarion Goldfield Cowgirls. This unrated team also made their second state tournament this year. However, it's been 26 years between appearances. Without a play over 5-10, they knocked out the number 18 team in 2A in 3 straight games before taking the number 1 team to 4 games in the first round here. From the North Central Conference, welcome Coach Dale Ludwig and the Clear Lake Lions. The third of 5 schools making first-time trips to Cedar Rapids, they lost only 1 game in the postseason prior to state. Rated 16th in 1A, they return half of their starters to make another run next fall. From the Southeast Iowa Super Conference, please welcome Coach Bev Nielsen and the Columbus Wildcats. Rated 7th in 3A, the defending champs came through a region where half the teams were rated. They beat 2 of them en route to their 4th straight state trip and 7th overall. Representing the Mississippi Athletic Conference, Coach Amy Baker and the Davenport North Wildcats. This school cruised through its region, not losing a game, while knocking off 2 other rated opponents. All of the starters return next year for this experienced squad, making their 8th appearance at state. Rated 6th in 2A, the 3rd team from the North Central Conference, Coach Ron Rickles and the Iowa Falls Cadets. After beating the number 5 team in 1A in the regional final and the number 2 team at state, this school rated 9th made its first state trip in volleyball after doing the same in basketball last winter. One of the 2 teams in the field without a nickname from the Southeast Iowa Super Conference, Coach Dwight Gingrich and Iowa Mennonite. This team beat out a 7-time state qualifier to reach state for the 2nd time. Runners-up in 3A last season, they are rated 4th and lost only 4 times this year. Undefeated champs of the national division of the Central Iowa Metro League, Coach Rick Brooks and the Johnston Dragons. Rated 4th in 1A, the defending runners-up went through their regional without dropping a single game. With a Class 1A high 38 wins coming into state, they made their 5th straight appearance in Cedar Rapids. Again, the Corn Belt Conference champs, Coach Dave Wims and the North Kossuth Cougars. Ever since the state tournament has been held in Cedar Rapids, this school has become a fixture here. Qualifying 5 times in the last 6 years, this number 18 team in 3A pulled out a thrilling 5-game regional final on the road. From the Little Hawkeye Conference, Coach Sidney Gray and the Oskaloosa Indians. In order to make their 3rd state appearance, all they had to do was beat 2 of last year's state qualifiers in their regional and then come back from 2 games down in the regional final. Class 2A runners-up in 1995, please welcome from the Little Hawkeye Conference, Coach John Evenhouse and the number 12 rated Pella Christian Eagles. Since it's an even-numbered year in the 1990s, this school makes the state tournament field. This is their 5th appearance overall, but the last 3 since 1994 have each been under a different coach. Rated 12th in Class 3A, please welcome Coach Lori Shaw and the Sioux City Heelan Crusaders. Tonight, for the first time, we honor 3 of Iowa's best with the inaugural inductees in the Iowa Volleyball Hall of Fame. Like many junior high students, this Hall of Fame inductee was full of big dreams. However, her dream wasn't to lead Dike High School to its first of many state volleyball championships or becoming a 2-time first-team All-State selection. Her dream was to play high school football for her father. After some gentle persuading from family, she began to focus her talents on volleyball and quickly turned heads with her powerful style of play. She was inserted in the Dike lineup as a freshman, and the fortunes of the Bobcat volleyball team changed immediately. In her 4 seasons, she led Dike to its first 3 state volleyball tournament appearances, including the school's first Class 1A championship her senior season. She was named to 3 all-tournament teams, captaining the 1985 all-tourney team. A 2-time first-team All-State selection, she was the Iowa Volleyball Player of the Year her senior season. She moved on to the University of Northern Iowa, and her impact was immediately felt. A 3-time first-team All-Conference selection and twice named All-Region, she helped the Panthers qualify for the NCAA tournament twice. When she graduated in 1989, she owned 10 school records, while her 40-kill performance against Illinois State in 1989 remains a Gateway and Missouri Valley Conference record. In 1992, the Gateway Conference named her as its Volleyball Player of the Decade. After completing her master's degree from Northern Iowa in 1992, she and her husband, Dwayne, returned to Cedar Falls and her alma mater, where she has served as an assistant coach since 1995. While she may not have dreamed of becoming a great volleyball player, it is safe to say that countless young girls in Dike, Iowa have dreamed of following in her footsteps. Let's welcome her to the Hall of Fame. From Dike High School, 1985, Bobby Becker Peterson. fierce. It's an adjective usually reserved for linebackers, not a volleyball standout. However, a coach described this Hall of Famer as the fiercest competitor I've ever coached. When she stepped onto that floor, there was no way she would lose. She was a major contributor on Fort Dodge High School's greatest athletic teams from 1980 to 85. She was a starting forward on 3 Dodger basketball teams that earned state tournament appearances, finishing second in 1984, while capturing the 1985 championship with a 29-0 record. However, it was volleyball where she excelled. A starter as a freshman, twice named the Class 2A Player of the Year. She led Fort Dodge to a runner-up finish as a junior and the Class 2A state title as a senior, and was named captain of the all-tournament team. On to the University of Iowa, where, again, she earned success. Starting as a freshman, her name is prominent in the Hawkeye record books. 2nd all-time in service aces, 5th in career blocks, 6th all-time in digs, and 10th in career kills. She shares Iowa's single match record for most service aces. Upon graduating, she returned to her hometown and took over the coaching reins of her high school where she once starred. In 1997, she guided Fort Dodge back to the state volleyball tournament for the first time since 1988. She continues to coach volleyball while working for a kids' factory preschool in Fort Dodge. She and her husband, Stuart, have a 10-month-old daughter, Jacqueline. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to an Iowa Premier Volleyball player, a 2-time Player of the Year, and one of Iowa's great all-around athletes. From Fort Dodge High School, 1984, Tony Zer Cochran. The setter in volleyball is similar to the point guard in basketball. Their main objective is to create opportunities for teammates. For this Hall of Fame setter, her whole career has been spent making those around her better. She is one of Bettendorf High School's most decorated athletes. She was an all-state selection in both basketball and softball, and one of the best quarter-milers in the state. However, volleyball was her favorite sport. She was a 2-time first-team all-state selection, leading Bettendorf to a pair of appearances at the state volleyball tournament. Both years, she was named all-tournament and was a co-captain of the 1980 all-tournament team as a senior. She went on to play collegiately at the University of Nebraska, where she became the first in a long line of All-American setters. She was the first 2-time Cornhusker Volleyball All-American, while earning first-team All-Big 8 accolades 3 times, the most valuable player of the Big 8 Conference Tournament a record 3 times, a member of the United States national team for 4 years, and an alternate on the 1988 United States Olympic team. She is one of 4 Nebraska volleyball players that have had their playing number retired. Despite her impressive player resume, her biggest contributions to volleyball may have come as a coach. For the past 10 seasons, she has served as an assistant coach at Nebraska, has coached 3 All-American setters, and been a part of a national championship team, a national runner-up, and 2 Final Four appearances. She is an active spokesperson for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and in 1993, the organization named her as its Coach of the Year. We'd like to welcome her back to her home state and the Iowa Volleyball Hall of Fame. From Bettendorf, Iowa, 1980, a true example of an All-American, Kathy Notes. At this time, we would like to ask the teams and the Hall of Fame inductees to do an about-face so that they may be recognized by the other side of the house.
It's great to see Hall of Fame inductees.